Hey guys, welcome back to E3. This is Ted Henschke with DreadCentral.com. I'm here with Ivan Moen. He's the owner, CEO, creative director extraordinaire of Rock Pocket Games, who are doing Moons of Madness. How are you doing today, man?
I'm doing fine.
So the first question I have is, it's called Moons of Madness. You're on Mars. What's the deal? I think I found the one plot hole in your game.
Well, the game is set on Mars, as you said. You're playing as Shane Newhart. He's kind of a normal engineer stationed on the research facility on Mars. So when the game starts, you're doing your daily day-to-day operations, and soon the story have twists and turns, and you're going down a windy road of conspiracies, aliens, and godlike deities.
Yeah. So I've just did the hands-on with the game. I'll be having a gameplay impression of it later, but there's a lot of horror adventure games out there right now, and one of the things I really noticed about Moons of Madness was that there's like a really high level of complexity to the actual puzzles that you'll have to do. This isn't just a walking simulator, So first off, how did you approach balancing the puzzles and the scares in this game?
Yeah, so one of the things we feel that, the player, it's easier or better to scare them when they're relaxed. So we try to split up the gameplay between, so we split up the scariness with puzzles and exploration. And there's a story to tell because this is a heavily story-driven game. So there is a story to tell about the character, the things, what's really going on. So yeah.
Yeah, so I noticed also that you're kind of in this space station and, Mars base, and you are going between these different habitats. Now, is this going to be a linear style game where, there's levels and you kind of go through it, or are you going to kind of slowly open up the base as you go on? How's that going to work?
It is going to open up quite a bit. It's a lot more to the Mars base compared to what you're seeing now. But yeah, it's a linear game. It has one ending. But there's a lot of things you can discover while playing it.
So what's the kind of run time that we're looking at for Moons of Madness?
We're not quite sure. We haven't tested it, but hopefully it's 8 hours or more.
Yeah, that'd actually be pretty good. Most of these kinds of horror experiences usually clock in at like 4 hours, So also, one of the things I noticed about the game is that you have this like scanner system that you're going to use to not only kind of scan the environment to find out where your next objective is, but you're going to use it to interact with some of the puzzles. What are some of the more creative scanner interactions in the game that people are going to like? We have a lot of the puzzles that's going on the biogauge, but you're also using that to discover more things about you can scan a lot of things on the base, and you can get a backstory of the pieces, but also mainly it's used to drive puzzles. So, but there's a lot of things to explore with that scanner. Like you can find out backstory, collectibles, information, things like that. What kind of collectibles were you looking at in this game?
ID badges. There's tons of tools that you can use in puzzles. There is I'm not going to go into too much detail, but there's a lot. Yeah,
it actually kind of reminded me of, if you remember, Doom 3 had those interactive computers that you could push on. You had to collect ID badges to log into different people's security clearances and stuff. And it was really cool because this is one of those games that kind of has an integrated UI. So the UI is on your wrist. You can use that to check the things in your inventory. You can use that to check your objective and stuff like that. What were some of the kind of challenges in developing that?
Well, we wanted to keep the HUD as clean as possible. There is stuff in the HUD, but we also have a lot of areas where you're outside, and there we have a helmet with some of the same UI, so that we don't have to clutter up the HUD with oxygen level and stuff like that. So you have that all the time. You just look down and you have it. So we're trying to put as much as possible away from the HUD.
So in the section of the game that I saw, there was no combat. Is there going to be combat in the final game, or is it all running and hiding?
Mostly you're hiding. Mostly you're running away. But we have some monsters that you have. grabbing you, and you have to fight them to get loose.
So, you know, in the scale of cosmic horrors, you got your Cthulhu's, and then you got your Dagons, and then you got your cultists. What kind of tier of monsters are we looking at here?
We got a little bit of everything. You know, the moons of Mars, they're called they're dread and horror. That's cool. It's a perfect fit. We don't understand why someone haven't think about that before with the moons of man. It's just kind of cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. They're going to get to go to all of the... Well, you're all in one place in this game, right? A base on Mars?
You're not only on the base. We have several outdoor areas. We have different stations that's on several areas of the game. We also, you know, we have... Yeah, I'm not going to...
But if you were to say what was your greatest inspiration with Moons of Madness, what kind of other space horror have you guys liked before?
Okay, so we like games like Soma. But we also have actually a big experience or influence for the game is the movie or the book Martian. Because we wanted to make a game that took real-world science instead of just having a lot of sci-fi elements. We wanted to try to get it close to hard science as possible. So we did a lot of research, but you know, I'm not saying that everything is based on science in the game. We took a lot of artistic freedom.
Yeah, I mean, like the first thing I did in the game was repair the water reclaimer because I needed to water my plants, which is far from lasers and chainswords and things like that. So.
Cool.
Yeah. My last question is just going to be, you know, when are people going to be able to pick this up and on what platforms?
Halloween 2019, so this year.
Oh, soon.
Yeah, soon. And it's going to be on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC.
All right, well, thank you, man, for taking the time to talk to me. Once again, is Ted with DreadCentral.com. Hopefully you'll be able to pick up Moons of Madness. I just played it. It's a good adventure game. I really like these styles of games. Far from your common walking simulator, there's actually a lot of interactivity in this one, which I'm pleased about at least. So, you know what? Check it out and stick with me soon. We're going to be heading over to THQ, let know what we see over there. Going to be checking out the new Destroy All Humans and hope to catch you guys later.